Meet the world's fastest hybrid, the new Koenigsegg Regera with a combined horsepower of 1500. This car will sprint from 0 to 100 miles an hour in about 2.6 seconds. And coming up next, that's right, we're going to tell you everything you ever want to know.
As we have over 1 megawatt of power in this car, actually 1.11 megawatt to be exact. We call them mega cars. We have the first mega car with a 1-to-1, first car in production to have 1 megawatt of power or 1360 horsepower. This is a little bit more power, full with hybrid drive, without a traditional transmission, which is, I guess, its biggest unique feature. So we drive the combustion engine directly to the rear wheels via hydraulic coupling that we can open and close. So we can have it fully closed or we can slip it, and we can have like a torque converter effect in it as well. And then we have electrical motors on the output shafts from the final drive. So we drive them directly to the wheels. We reverse with those motors and we take off with those motors with or without the assistance of the combustion engine by slipping it in. And when we reach about 20 miles per hour, we can lock up the hydraulic couplings. We have direct drive from the combustion engine to the wheels with another electrical motor on the crankshaft to increase bottom end torque, because we're always in like 7th gear. So without all that electrical support, it would be very sluggish, even though it's an 1100 horsepower combustion engine. But with the electrical motors and with the possibility to open or close the hydraulic coupling to rev up or just lock it in, we can have amazing performance. So 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2.8 seconds. I guess that's the least impressive number given the huge power level, but we only have rear-wheel drive, so it's difficult to go faster apart from on a drag strip with extra grippy surface. But then when we talk about 0 to 120 miles per hour, about 6 seconds flat, or 180 miles per hour under 11 seconds, or its top speed is 252 miles per hour where we hit the rev limiter at just over 20 seconds. So there are, I guess, faster cars out there, like the Bugatti and so on, but I think in the real world, whoever is first to 250 is the winner in our book. Yeah, that's how we see it. So
it would be fair to say it's the fastest hybrid in the world right now?
Well, fastest at 250 for sure,
yeah.
Regardless of if it's a hybrid or not.
And let's talk about some of the numbers. How much does it cost?
So it starts in the US at around 2.1, and then you can kit it up from there with carbon wheels, bespoke carbon body features and so on. This is the first production car. Last year we introduced the prototype, this year we introduced the production car, and deliveries will start in the autumn 2016, and some cars are going to the US.
And you said only 80 are being sold?
Yeah, 80 in total. We're almost up to half of that already spoken for with the down payments. We're just under 40.
Good
yeah.
years while they still...
Yeah, you know, we're producing these over 5 years, yeah. So we're really happy to have that kind of order log already.
And why did you decide to go with electricity?
You know, I just had an idea that there is a more optimal way than have to carry around gears that you only use momentarily. Like if you're on the highway, you're in our case 7th gear on our normal cars. The other gears, including the reverse, which are 7 gears, including the reverse, are just sitting around doing nothing, hanging around, weighing down the car. And you have the shifting to consider and so on. And I said, why don't replace that weight with something that can add power instead of take power, because you have transmission losses. Of course, adding power in the form of electrical motors does add weight compared to having gears, but we have the benefit of a lower fuel consumption, more instantaneous response, and enormous power levels. So it just turned out to be a very enticing package that we couldn't take our eyes off after simulating it.
Let's just get back to the numbers again. So it's 1100 horsepower motor,
yes.
500 horsepower,
700
horsepower,
yes.
Electric motor. How big is battery? How many?
So it's a very small battery pack. It's only 4.5 kilowatt hours. In the prototype we had 7, yeah. But with a 4.5 kilowatt hour battery pack, we can draw over 500 kilowatts of power from only 90 kilos of weight. That's unheard of. These are Formula One grade cells, and it means also we can charge them with a lot of power. They don't overheat when we charge.
A huge engine to charge them.
Yeah, so when you're driving around a racetrack, as soon as you lift off the throttle a little bit because you want less than full power, we don't lift off the combustion engine, we keep that running full. We just back off on the electrical motors and use the crank motor to charge the battery even on the slightest lift off. And when you lift off more, we charge more and then we regen. So it means after a lap or 2 or 3 laps, we have the same energy level in the battery, so we don't drain it. We use it for regen and burst. Regen and burst. It's kind of like a curse system, more than a hybrid.
Yeah.
But you can still run it pure electrically, what we call stealth mode. In some countries that has to be like off public roads due to homologation, but you just push a button and you're pure EV.
And once again, let me ask you, what's the MPG? What kind of benefit is there in terms of for a 100?
Right, so I don't have those numbers exactly in my head today, but we're hoping to avoid gas guzzler.
In the United States?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
And last question, what's your favorite part of the car?
I think it's the way it combines super friendly usability and drivability. Remember, there is no shifting. The electric propulsion combined with the hydraulic coupling is super smooth. And the interior is roomy, spacious, good air conditioning, good heating, good stereo, CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, memory seats, 4G connectivity, internet. You have this living room sensation, rocket ship sensation when you floor it, race car sensation around a racetrack, and a nice car around town. And you can detach the hardtop, put it in the front. You can even have golf clubs in the front. So the way it kind of have it all, eat it all kind of approach without the big weight penalty, that's what fascinates me the most about this car.
You know, when you started building cars, right, 200 was kind of a big number.
Right,
Now it's 250. You ever see it
right.
go to 300? I mean, it
I guess,
crazy,
I mean,
right?
if you look at the new Chiron, I think there's
261.
They're like going there,
Yeah.
but
you can't use it.
you know, the thing is, we notice with our cars, if we try to go any faster, we start compromising the rest range of the car because you're getting higher gear ratios or more gears, more weight. So you're optimizing the car for something that you more or less can't use. So with this car, we said the new game for us is who's fastest to 250, because that's obtainable in a way. I mean, not very often, definitely not on public roads, but you can rent a long airfield or a space shuttle field, and you can do that. And you can get close to it on a German Autobahn in the nighttime legally, and it goes there in 20 seconds, so you don't need that long of a stretch. But beyond that, it's kind of unobtainium. There is no place. You can go to salt deserts and so on, but these cars are not designed for salt deserts. They have 2 wide tires, rear-wheel drive, mid-engine. They kind of, you want a front-engine car with rear-wheel drive and a big weight in the front when you go on the salt flats, unless you have 4-wheel drive.
You'll start to fly.
Yeah, exactly. So we think we found a kind of a magical mix of a top speed that's plentiful for everyone. No one can get there faster than us. Usability like nothing else in this category.
That's beautiful.
Smoothness, it's like everything in a sense.
Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
Thank
you
you
very much. Of course, it would be fun to take this up against the new Bugatti. And if we ever get lucky enough to get a long enough runway, you bet we will. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, and of course, mega hybrid reviews. See you next time. Ciao.